Morning, everyone. Welcome to this Thursday, July 10th meeting of the Lewis and Clark County Board of Commissioners. And we will start off with a Pledge of Allegiance, but I like to keep everybody on the edge of their chair, right? Okay, let's do it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You will notice that we are missing one of our compatriots. That will be explained later. I'm Candace Payne. I'm the chair of this commission. To my immediate left is Tom Rolfe. Sorry, little mind glitch there.
Good morning.
And around the corner from him is Brandy Spangler, who is our recording secretary. Good morning, Brandy. And to my right is the missing county commissioner. Yeah, well, anyway, he's out of the office today. And then we have Mr. Keegan from the county attorney's office and Mr. Balls from the executive. Okay, you can see I got a surprise email about phishing on my email, and it sort of just has me thinking about other things rather than my meeting. Okay, we have a sign-in sheet right there in the front. I'd appreciate it if you'd sign in and let us know who you are. And I believe there's an agenda up there too to keep track of that. It appears we have no consent action items. And so we will move right on into the action items at 3A, which is a labor agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Federation of Public Employees as presented by Kari DesRosier. Good morning, Kari.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioner Rolfe. My name is Kari DesRosier. For the record, I'm the Human Resources Director for Lewis and Clark County. Before you this morning is the collective bargaining agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Federation of Public Employees representing the road, bridge, shop employees of Public Works Department. Some of the changes for this year include updated contract period and dates throughout, minor grammatical and formatting edits throughout the contract, the updated pay matrix for the new fiscal year, added language to the article on dispute settlement procedures in which grievances for termination will automatically be moved to level 2, increase the number of days the BOCC would have to hear a grievance from 15 to 20 days, and then removed outdated practices or provisions and updated language to include current practices throughout. The members have ratified the agreement and staff recommends your approval.
Thank you, Kari. And I see that this needs to be signed by each of the 3 commissioners.
That's correct.
Okay. Tom, do you have any questions?
These 2 agreements are kind of the same but different. Would you explain that?
Yeah, so Commissioner Rolfe, they're for 2 different units, so they represent 2 different functions. This one is representing the road, bridge, and shop employees. The other one is the public health department and the landfill. And it seems kind of weird that the landfill people wouldn't be within the public works, but that's how the unit was formed many, many years ago. And I think they've tried to change it at some point, and it wasn't in agreement by the unit. So each of the bargaining, the contracts kind of address different provisions based on the work that's performed and the work environment. So a lot of it has the same language, and then there's different things throughout that address different work situations.
Okay, thank you.
So the cover sheets for these 2 contracts do they do pretty much the same thing to each of the contracts?
There are a lot of the crossover. There's only one slight change on the one for Public Health Department and landfill, which I can kind of review when I do that contract next.
Okay. All right. Any further questions, Tom?
Nope.
Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, let's have a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to approve the labor agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Federation of Public Employees, which covers the Montana. First one is the road and shop employees, and it goes through July 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2027, as explained by Kari DesRosier.
Second. Did we get the right contract there?
You did. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Commissioner Rolfe.
Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing none, it has been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the MFPE. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Okay, moving right along. Item 3B is the labor agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Federation of Public Employees, presented by Kari DesRosier.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioner Rolfe. Again, my name is Kari DesRosier with Human Resources for the county. And before you this morning is the collective bargaining agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Federation of Public Employees, representing employees of the Public Health Department and the county landfill. Some of the changes in this contract include the contract period was updated effective from July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. There were minor grammatical and formatting edits throughout. Confirmation, the bargaining unit would get pay increases each year as adopted by the Board of County Commissioners and approved for non-represented employees. Revised the language regarding health plan contributions, separating full-time and part-time employee provisions for clarity. Updated the proration table for part-time employees paying health plan contributions. Added language to the article on dispute settlement procedures that grievances for termination will automatically be moved to level 2. And then updated the pay matrix for the current fiscal year. Members have ratified the agreement and staff recommends your approval.
Thank you, Kari. Any questions, Tom?
And this one is the one relating to the Public Health Department and the county landfill.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. No further question? Is there any public comment? No public comment. All right. In that case, let's have a motion, please.
Chair Payne, I would move to approve the labor agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Federation of Public Employees. This being the agreement with the employees in the Public Health Department and the landfill. And the agreement period is from July 1 of 2025 through June 30th of 2028, as explained by Kari DesRosier.
Second. Is there any other comment from the commission? In that case, it has been moved and seconded that we approve this labor agreement between Lewis and Clark County and MFPE as it affects the public health, the employees of the Public Health Department and the employees of the county landfill. Okay, and moved, seconded, no more comment. Okay, let's have a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Kari.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, contract amendment with Granicus to support a new site for the Metropolitan Planning Organization. So they're moving him to a different metropolis or? Sorry. This will be presented by James Thomas. Go for it, James.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioner Rolfe. James Thomas, I'm the IT Director for the city and county. Before you this morning is a request to modify the scope of our primary web hosting contract with Granicus. Granicus is the vendor that supplies us the hosting platform and the software to manage both websites for the city and the county. The original contract was initiated in March of 2022 and was for a 5-year term. The additional scope will allow for the creation and hosting of an additional website, a third website, that is needed for the Metropolitan Planning Organization, or the MPO. This carries a total cost of $6,075. That carries both a one-time cost and the first partial year of hosting that website. The Metropolitan Planning Organization, MPO office, is prepared to cover the costs, so there will be no unplanned impact to the 2026 IT budget. The original contract was reviewed by county legal, and county procurement office has also reviewed and approved the amendment. Staff recommends approval of the contract with Granicus for adding the subsite and authorize the chair to sign. Be happy to address any questions.
Thank you, James. I have a question, and I know you and I discussed this yesterday. Is this the website that involves the city's website as well as the county's? So there's going to be 3. Run that by me from yesterday, would you please?
Certainly, Chair Payne. So yes, right now we have 2 websites, the helenamt.gov and lccountymt.gov. This will create a third. I believe it is Helena MPO will be the URL name. So that's how you will get to it. But yes, there will be a third independent website that will not necessarily be associated to the city or the county, but it's part of the organization. So it's the partnership part of this.
I can see confusion on the part of some of our citizens who are less IT adept than you are. And are they linked up at all? So if you, oops, this MPO, that's not what I want. I want the city or I want the county. Can you find your way to the right one, or is it always going to be a mystery?
Chair Payne, I hope it's not a mystery. I believe there will be links in both the city's webpage and the county's webpage that connect the MPO website.
Okay.
So it'll be fairly seamless navigation. The big key here is that it's creating a third independent site so that the city's template or the county's template does not flow through the MPO's website. So the MPO website can have its own look and feel as the MPO office. That's the goal or the reason for creating the third site.
Thank you. Any questions there, Tom?
Just a comment, because of the growth in the size of our metropolitan area, we've fallen into this new designation over the last couple of years of the Metropolitan Planning Organization. And it gives us extra planning money from the state and federal government to, as we get kind of progress into the future. And the city of Helena, the county Lewis and Clark, and the city of East Helena are all part of that Metropolitan Planning Organization. But it's actually operated by the city. That's the way it's set up. But because this is coming, our IT department is funded through the county. That's why you're here, to have us approve this.
Commissioner Rolfe, you are correct. Since this is part of the organization, it does fall into, seems to fit very well to the mission of the IT department to support both the city and the county And as a tertiary, we support the East Helena Police Department in the law enforcement function. So we do even reach out that far.
Good. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that the MPO is paying for it, so we don't have to have any financial impact.
One caveat, it's still tax money that we are
Right.
spending.
That's
So let's recognize this money does not just appear. Okay. Any further questions? Is there any public comment? Public slept in today. Okay. Seeing no public comment, Tom, I need to have a motion.
Chair Payne, I move to approve the contract amendment with Granicus to support the new site for the Metropolitan Planning Organization as explained by James Thomas.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that we approve the contract amended with Granicus to support a new site for the Metropolitan Planning Organization. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Motion passes unanimously. And thank you, James.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Moving right along. Item 3D on our agenda today is board appointments presented by Mr. Roger Balls, Open Lands Citizens Advisory Committee.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioner Rolfe. Commissioner Payne, you just read the item. That's the one we're looking at today. And as per our regular process, as your backup information, you have a memo that was prepared by Brandy Spangler for you to consider this morning. I'll read it into the record. So the candidate that you'll be discussing today meets the qualifications for consideration of the board. This is the Open Land Citizens Advisory Committee. There was one vacancy on the board. Eve Riley applied. Staff recommends that the commissioners consider the applicant to a term that will expire June 30, 2027. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you, Roger. Any questions, Tom?
None.
I've got a couple. How many people are on this board? Ten? Oh, okay. Okay, and I was just trying to compare it to some of our other boards. All right, so any questions? Did we already do that?
This is the Open Lands Citizen Advisory Council for the public's information is one that oversees the work for the open lands, the work that's gone on for many years where lands have been purchased or development rights have been purchased to keep them in a more rural state continually. So this is something that the citizens voted for. They put aside $10 million to facilitate this, and this board kind of oversees that operation.
That's fabulous. Thank you, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Any further? No, you're the only other commissioner here. Is there any public comment? Seeing none. We have a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to approve the appointment of Eve Riley to the Open Lands Citizens Advisory Committee to a term that ends June 30th of 2027, as explained by Mr. Balls.
Okay, is there any further comment from the oh, I got a second. Is there any further comment? Seeing none. All those in favor of approving the board appointment to the Open Land Citizens Advisory Committee, the appointment being Eve Riley, and as explained to us by Mr. Roger Balls. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. We have now come to the portion of our meeting where I ask for any public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda above. Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.